There it goes. Beautiful. Nicely done. The Ryobi and the Still, 12-inch teamwork, cleared that tree off the track. Quite a few cuts, batteries on 3/4 and full still. Hey everyone, we're out in near Maldon, Mount Tarrengower, old historic mining area. And don't fall down a hole anywhere. There's heaps of mining stuff, officially and unofficially, you can have a look at. And this is just one of those big holes in the ground that, you know, you don't want to fall down there. So it's definitely risky. Right, but I'm just going to risk it for the biscuit and try and get close and show you how risky that one is. So if you see a mound, generally next to it there's a hole, so don't let your kids go running up the mound to play, because they might go straight down the other side into a big hole, and the edge here could collapse at any time. So there you go. Well, here we go, looks like a hill. Yeah, big washout next to it too. See what happens going up here. Looks like it could be slippery. Fairly dry at the moment. It's damp. It is just after winter, September. Pretty tractionable at the moment. Some good washouts to either slip into or dodge and slip into while dodging. And there goes the back, across to the left. Pretty good overall. Bit rough just here. Nice views over the left, not that you can see. You need to come down and have a look. Just explore all the tracks on all the hills everywhere you go. Bring your chainsaw, make sure you do some pruning for us. What I mean when I say pruning, everything's growing. Bring your hedge trimmers and your chainsaws and do a bit of a track cleanup. Keep it open. Have a look at that. Isn't that better? Bloody beautiful. Bit of pruning. Thank us later, no problem. If you do the same, everyone does their part, it helps keep it open. Yeah, we just cleared that up and we're going back down again to have a look for some different ways around, some new tracks. Have a look at this. These sinister off-road heavy-duty side steps are getting sidestepped. Bit of exploring out here. I've been looking around out here for years. I'm just going to get this tree off the truck. Not much of a tree, but I've found this awesome track. What I've just gone through down the track here in the Hilux. Bloody awesome. It's really good scenery. It's hard to explain. It's changing so much. But you're on a hill where you've got views all the way around. You've got the uphill on the other side. And there's all these tracks going up and down. A lot of them are not very well used. So lucky I've got a small YouTube channel. And only the good people that watch the videos to the end are going to come up here. But you can just have a look on new tracks. The green and the black and the red and all that doesn't really mean much here, because a lot of the tracks, it's like they haven't been driven. They haven't been mapped by the new trackers. So sounds like we've got a bit of a leak. I'm sort of getting towards the last pinch of this track, and it's certainly not very well used. It's a bit overgrown up here, so it's a real recce run. It's very rocky. Make sure you've got good tyres, don't come up in your Subaru. A lot of Subarus and walkers down the track all over the place walking around, so it's just getting to the point of nobody's coming up here, and we need to get the chainsaws out on this one. But this time, lucky I'm in the highlights, I'm just going to rip through it
I'm looking at
and make sure it goes through. Right, so here we go. A lot of yakking on the radio. It's all quiet on the radio, just everybody talks right when I decide to start the video. There you go. Well, I don't want to make this video too long, but this is the icing on the cake. It's the telegraph track, if you like. I'll call it the power line track, the telegraph track. You come into the campsite at the bottom, and you weave your way through. We've done a fair bit of track clearing here. Might actually go up on that hill or down in this hill. Where did I go last time? Must have been over that side. Crazy man. Right, so I must have been, I don't even know where I was, must have been in this rut or something, or up on top of it, or something like that, I'm thinking. Let's just see what happens. Bit overgrown. We've done some work on it throughout the track, and the guys have been down here at the bottom clearing it up. Right, so this is the power line track. Going back up again, so I did a lot of track clearing on the way down because I thought the others were going to come up, and then they decided not to, which is fair. So I thought I'll make use of my track clearing and show you the track. Not that you can see much without a cameraman on the outside, but it's very steep, it's loose and shaly. I'm going to put the locker on just there where we just completely lost traction. Now it's locked in. Now we're all four-wheel drive, as long as we've sort of got the back wheels on the ground. We've got the good LSD. There's a bit of a rock steppy sort of thing a couple of places. I think this is one of them, so I might just go to the left and sort of just avoiding the holes a little bit. And I might just leave the locker on while I'm going straight, because it saves a bit of wheel spin. A lot of these rocks are quite steep, and I know this phone thing, it's not too crash hot, especially because it's worn. The quad lock, it's all a bit worn and oversized, and it's a bit loose and it vibrates around and all that. But this track, it's just a matter of taking it real slow and trying to pick your line a bit, and you're going to get a lot of wheel spin. You're going to scrape a few things here and there, depending on tyre size. So a bit of a long video, you know what, let's just go for it. We're coming up to the next sort of rough bit. I might just turn the locker off for this because we've got to sort of turn, or do we? Not really, no, I might just leave it on actually. It's probably a good idea leaving it on just here. So just keep it pretty straight when you've got your lockers on. We learned a lesson on that. Just, there's a lot of, you've locked everything, there's a lot of pressure on the drive line. Now that I'm past that part, I'm going to turn the locker off. So what we found is, when you're turning, we don't break CVs in Prado. That's all Hiluxes when they're set up right with the K-on diff drop in the Hiluxes. You don't do that in the Prado, but
If you're full lock and you load it up and you've got all your pressure on one of that right front that's on full lock, you probably could break it. That's the circumstances that you'll break it in. But it's very rough, it's very loose also, shaly and loose but rough. So sometimes there's shaly and smooth, sometimes there's rough and firm. This is rough and it's got all the loose shaly stuff in it and all over it as well. Some big boulders. You need your underbody protection. There's a few rocks around, they're going to give you a knock here and there. And there's a few really big chunks of rock in the track, like what we're coming up to here. I'm going to put that under a right tyre. And you're constantly scrabbling your way. It's not like you've got traction, that's that big rock. And I know it's not the best picture for you, but I hope you enjoy the commentary. And this is where you wish you had a hand throttle, because it's quite bouncy. It's one of those rocks we spoke about. Now we're coming up to one of these step ups, and it's quite a crest with a lot of sharp rocks sticking out of it as well. So I look at this and I really can't find a good way over it. So I'm just going to go, oh, lost traction completely, so I'm going to put the locker on. See what I mean? Like sometimes you just, it's locked in. The locker is for the wind. That lost traction there during, oh, here we are. And we lost traction with the locker on. This is what we're looking for. That's when you need things like winches. Let me see if I can get mobile again. I'll have to go back a bit further. Let's try it again. See what happens. Gently trying again each time is usually the go. Nice and slow and gently if we can, even though it's rough as buggery. However rough buggery is. Right, lock it back off again so I can turn and not put excessive pressure on things. Nice bit of pruning. And once we get to here, the overgrown part where you can see that pile up there in the distance, it just weaves its way through the bushes a bit. You can bring your hedge trimmers and your secateurs and do a bit of maintenance if you come up the power line track. So how do you access the power line track for the people that wait till the end of the video? Well, this is the icing on the cake, this track, I reckon. It's short and sweet. You come into the campsite at the bottom. What's the campsite called? It's called the Butts Reserve. So you go into the Butts Reserve, you drive up to the back and you'll see a new gate, fairly new, that says no camping beyond this point. So you can't camp up there. You hang a left into the bush just before it, and you just go in a little way and then you look to your right and you'll see a sort of flat track. It's less used, but if you come up here and have a crack, then it'll be more used. Please look after the track and be respectful, otherwise places like this just get closed up. You know, just use it quietly and carefully, you know, be safe, trim the trees. We're nearly to the top of Mount Tarrengower now. Trim the trees, you know, look after things, don't make noise and be annoying for people. And then it doesn't make noise and cause problems, right? Anyway, so you go through a little bit, you just go to the right and you'll see this flat track that looks really disused. You just drive along that a bit and then it goes around to probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 metres, and then you go through some bushes on the right and it comes back out into the opening that's about 100 metres up on the other side of where that gate is. And then straight away you turn left, and that's where the start of the track is, and it'll bring you to here if you want to have some fun. If you enjoy a bit of four-wheel driving, flex it up, spin a wheel, test out your tyres, your diffs, your driving skills, your lockers. And I'd say don't bother coming here in the wet, because it's just going to be slippery. You're going to spin wheels, you're going to dig it up, you're going to wreck the track, and it will be no longer be fun like what it is right now. Thanks for watching. It's a bada bing bada boom moment, and subscribe, turn the bell on, and catch you on the next video. The other icing on the cake. So if you're looking on new tracks, it's down here at the bottom on the back dirt road, and you turn off that green line there, you follow along, and it's the second right, that track that goes across there, right? So if I zoom in, that one there was the first icing on the cake, right? You're going along the green one, you got to take that right turn, it's less obvious, less driven, starts getting rough and steep, and that's the icing on the cake. Then you hit that main road, come down to the reserve again, right where we are now, which is your way in to that other, see that red track there? That's the final icing on the cake. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Have some fun. Look after the place. Don't let me down. Catch you on the next one.